really important people to take the direction of Ms. Laura Lipson.
Before we get started, I just want to say this group behind me has been a joy to work with this year. This is the last time this jazz band is going to look like this. Many of them will hopefully go on to be in jazz ensemble, or they will graduate, or we'll have new people next year. So this is the last time that this group of this combination of people is going to play. So let's give them a round of applause. They're wonderful. With a tune called The Fern Sauce. It's one of my favorites. It's a really good rendition by Ella Fitzgerald. And it's going to feature a couple soloists. You're going to hear a clarinet solo by Alyssa Hampton. Vivian Nix on alto sax. And Aiden North and Sam Guthrie on flugelhorn. we are changing things up a little bit. This next tune that you're going to hear is a funk tune called Cold Duck Time. Pretty popular tune, you might recognize it. It's going to feature the soloist, MJ on alto sax, Alyssa Hampton this time on bari, Josh Deskin on trombone, and Sam Gunnawan on piano. Hope you enjoy.
portion for the wind ensemble. I have to tell you, this next piece that we're going to play is, we are very, very excited to perform this for you. It is a relatively new composition. It's entitled Horror Vacui, and Horror Vacui in Latin translates to the fear of empty spaces. And the piece was written during COVID, when this guy was basically stuck in his apartment writing. He does a lot of sort of movie scores and things like that. He went to Berkeley, and it writes a lot of sort of film score things. And he wrote this music based on how he was sort of feeling during that time, during lockdown, sort of the fear of sort of being alone in empty spaces. And so this piece is. It is certainly the most challenging thing that these students have put together. This is, just speaking for myself, this is my 11th year teaching, and I have never put together anything quite like this. This piece stretches the ability of every single student on this stage in a way that we really didn't even realize until we started rehearsing it. You can listen to recordings and look at scores ahead of time, and you don't really know. And we are very, very excited to play this for you. There's going to be a few things that you're going to hear. There's tons of percussion. You're going to see percussion sort of moving all over the place. And in fact, there's so much percussion in this particular piece that we decided that we weren't going to, we didn't really feel that it was necessary to do a percussion ensemble specific piece on this concert, because this piece is going to take care of all of that just alone. So this piece, we are very, very excited to perform it for you. It is meant to sort of imitate some of the 1950s and 60s, like old sci-fi horror movies. It's supposed to be just very sort of spooky. You're going to hear an organ being played by our own Miss Pace. She's going to be playing that with us, and the house is going to rumble. So I hope that you are excited. It's supposed to feel like doom and despair. I hope you enjoy Horror Vacui. We will do that in just a moment. We'll do a quick keynote.
Miss Pace included, but they're all incredible. You know that because your students have had them as teachers, but they are so dedicated and talented, and they work so hard to set these students up for success here at the high school, but just in life. Nothing you see on this stage is possible without them. So give them one more round of applause.
All right. The next piece we're going to perform for you is the sixth movement from Lincoln Sharposi. So if you are somebody who grew up in the band world, made it all the way through high school, maybe played a little in college, Lincoln Sharposi is one of the top pieces of music in the wind band repertoire. It is a very challenging piece of music, but it is just extremely well loved because the melodies are memorable. Written by Percy Granger. It is, I told students when we passed it out, this is kind of on the Mount Rushmore of wind band literature. And we gave it to them because this is the last concert of the school year. For some of the seniors, obviously, this is the last band concert at Pattonville High School. And we just think it's really important that students are exposed to music of this caliber and of this level of importance. So we're going to perform the sixth movement of Lincoln Sharposi. This is entitled The Lost Lady Found. Before we do that, we have some seniors in the house, and we want to make sure that we recognize them for all their hard work and all their service over the years. So the first thing I'd like to do is I would like to get all seniors are going to come right up to the very front of the stage here, and I'd like you guys to get yourselves in alphabetical order by last name. Good luck. it is customary that we will give all the seniors a small token of our appreciation, and we do that in the form of a Pattonville Band's blanket. The idea is that they can take this with them wherever they go, whether that's college or a career or whatever it is that they're going to go to, and they can always find comfort with something that feels like home. So that is what the symbolism is with the gift that we're going to be doing. We are also going to be passing out a number of scholarship awards. So all of the seniors were eligible to apply for the Pattonville Band Boosters Scholarship Award. And basically, we traditionally will award money to students that are going on into some other type of an activity post-high school, and we provide them with a monetary gift basically to help them along their way. So what we're going to do is we're going to announce each of the seniors as we go, and as that happens, they'll receive their blanket. Just like in graduation, if you want to give the one clap, that's great, but if we hoot and holler for every single kid, we're going to be here till midnight. So we'll do our one big clap for each person, and then one huge applause for all of them at the very end. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. And I think before I do this, I should just mention this to you. Senior parents, you guys have been waiting for this for a long time. Your kid, for most of you, your kid's been in band for 7 years, and this is it. And I think if you're a senior parent, you're feeling that right now. And if you're not a senior parent, you will. You have 1 to 3 years until it's your kid standing up here, ready to get their blanket, ready to get their scholarship check or whatever, and then we send them off into the real world. So this is a special time, and we're really proud of all of our seniors. So let's get started. Up first, David Adams. One clap, thank you. Connor Aubuchon. Nolan Carroll. Nolan is a recipient of our scholarship. Chase Cheatham. Chase is also a recipient of our scholarship. Zoe Glick. Zoe is also a recipient of our scholarship. Next is Colin Dara. Colin is also a recipient of our scholarship. Skylar Neeson. Oh, I'm going too fast, sorry. Skylar is also a recipient of our scholarship. Matthew Young. Matthew is also a recipient of our scholarship. Chase Ellis. Chase is also a recipient of our scholarship. MJ Farrer. Bernie Simmons. Bernie Fitzsimmons, I'm sorry, thank you. Okay. Bernie, good. All right. Next, Keegan Garland. Keegan is also a recipient of our scholarship. Madeline Rader. Vincent Gunter. And we got more blankets coming. Here they come. Alright. I'm going to go over here and try to get out of the way. Okay. Up next, Dylan Jameson. Dylan is a recipient of our scholarship. Jaden Jenner. Let's see, not here. Javi Mejia. Javi is a recipient of our scholarship. Connor Morris. Caleb Rickman. Caleb is a recipient of our scholarship. Brian Rodriguez Mendez. Zeke Schaefer. Next is Faye Shirley. Julio Torres. Ryan Vagey. Ryan is a recipient of our scholarship. Up next is Kimora Watson. Kimora is a recipient of our scholarship. Nathan Weiss. Nathan is a recipient of our scholarship. not least, Matthew Wolf. Give it up for all of our 2026 seniors. All right. Seniors, you guys may make your way into your seats. While that is happening, I'll tell you what's going to happen. We're going to perform one more piece for you tonight. This last piece is entitled, We May Rise. The piece is what we like to call our sappy senior piece. So, while this is happening, you're going to hear a number of solos happening. Almost all of the solos in this piece are going to be performed by seniors. As you guys kind of go through this, the goal is to sort of have the images of like 6 through 12 band in your mind. So think about that first time they took the instrument home and made those beautiful sounds on the clarinet, or whatever it was. And then compare that to what the sounds you hear now. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you so much for supporting your children in music. Music is alive and well at Pattonville High School, and that is because of the support that you guys give every single day. This last piece is entitled, We May Rise, and it is dedicated to the senior class of 2026. are going to go over to the steps. We're going to take our traditional picture at the end of the concert. Second and third hour band students, you will need to check out with Miss White and Miss Lindsay respectively. Parents, please make sure that you give your kids just a minute to go through the checkout process, and then they will meet you in the lobby. Once again, thank you guys so much for coming tonight. Hope you guys had a great time. We'll see you soon.
Every time you take it, there's
I'm not taking nothing.
amazing.